Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a story from the Bible that's all about celebration. Second chances and bringing God's presence back to the center of life. We're in 1 Chronicles, chapters 15 and 16, so let's set the scene. King David had tried to bring the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem once before, but it ended in disaster. A man named Uzzah touched the ark and died because they were unfollowing God's specific instructions for transporting it. It was a serious, somber moment, and it left David both afraid and confused. The ark, which represented God's very presence, was left at the house of a man named Obed-Edom. But here's where the story takes a turn. While the ark was at Obed-Edom's house, his entire household was blessed immensely. When David heard this, he realized something important. The problem wasn't the ark or God's presence. The problem was how they had approached it. God's presence brings blessing, not disaster, when it's honored correctly. This time David is determined to do it right. This is his second chance. He gathers all of Israel and specifically calls the Levites, the priestly tribe, to do their job. He tells them, "It was because you, the Levites, did not bring it up the first time that the Lord our God broke out in anger against us. We did not inquire of him about the proper way to do it." He understood that you can't just do God's work any way you want. You have to do it God's way. The Levites sanctified themselves, got the special poles ready, and carried the ark on their shoulders, just as the law of Moses commanded. And this time the journey is not one of fear, but of explosive joy and worship. As the ark enters Jerusalem, David is leading the procession. He's dressed in a linen ephod and he's dancing and celebrating with all his might. Imagine the scene, trumpets blaring, cymbals clashing, lyres and harps playing. It's a massive citywide party. David is so lost in his worship that he doesn't care what anyone thinks. In fact, his wife Michal looks down from a window and sees him leaping and dancing, and the scripture says she despised him in her heart. But David's focus wasn't on his public image. It was on honoring God. Once the ark is placed in the special tent David had prepared for it, the celebration continues. They offer sacrifices, and David blesses the people in the name of the Lord. He gives everyone, every man and woman in Israel, a loaf of bread, a cake of dates, and a cake of raisins. It's a gesture of generosity and shared joy, but it doesn't stop there. David then appoints Levites to minister before the ark continuously. He establishes a full-time worship team. He commissions Asaph and his relatives to give praise to the Lord. And this leads us to one of the most beautiful parts of the story. David's Psalm of Thanks. Recorded in chapter 16, this song is a powerful declaration of who God is and what he has done. It starts with, "Give praise to the Lord, proclaim his name. Make known among the nations what he has done." It's a call to tell the world about God's greatness. The psalm recounts God's faithfulness to his people, from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all the way to their present moment. It's a reminder to remember God's miracles, his wonders, and his promises. It's a song filled with gratitude, awe, and an invitation for all of creation, the heavens, the earth, the sea, to sing for joy before the Lord. So what can we take away from this incredible story? First, the importance of doing things God's way. Our sincerity is important, but it must be paired with obedience to his word. Second, true worship is joyful and unashamed. Like David, we can worship God with all our heart, soul, and strength, not worrying about what others think. And finally, God's presence is meant to be at the very center of our lives, bringing blessing, joy, and a reason to give thanks continually. David's first attempt failed, but he learned from it and tried again. That's a powerful message for all of us. No matter where we failed, there's always an opportunity to try again, to do it right, and to bring God back to the center. Thanks for joining me today. I hope this story encouraged you as much as it encouraged me. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe for more. See you next time.